there were a whole lot of concerns raised. First of all, proposals to replace the elected councillors for all of ECAN's... Mr Chairman.
I call the Honourable Leanne Dalzell.
Proposals to replace the elected councillors for all of ECAN's functions, suspend local body elections or remove the right of appeal on the NRRP or water conservation orders except on points of law. These proposals appear present a prima facie access to just... These proposals appear to present... They've obviously left out some words here. A prima facie access to justice issue, and some departments were concerned that this may not be consistent with the government's statement on regulation, quote, better regulation, less regulation, quote unquote, which requires a particularly strong case to be made for any regulatory proposals that are likely to override fundamental common law principles. Which ones are the government departments that were consulted? Was it Internal Affairs, Math, Treasury, State Services Commission, Justice, Transport or Te Puni Kokore or DPMC? Which one of them or which group of them said that there were serious concerns about the likelihood that this would override fundamental common law principles? Which one said that? Because that's what it says here. These proposals appear to present a prima facie access to justice issues, and some departments were concerned. Well, I'm more than concerned after reading this. Mr Chairman, then it goes on to say that the potential for the proposal to mean that parties with a stake in Canterbury's natural resources will have less ability to protect their rights and interests via appeals on resource management decisions than elsewhere in the country. So Canterbury misses out again, alone in this application of this change to the rules. The proposal to transfer the entire range of ECAN's roles and responsibilities to commissioners, despite the finding that ECAN was performing adequately outside of its water-related functions. So here, this entire part's focused on water-related functions, and yet the research, the report, the review, everything that's been done says that ECAN was performing adequately outside of those functions. So we'll just deal with the whole of ECAN, we'll just wipe the whole lot of them, and never mind the fact that whether the gains of such a move outweigh the costs of removing democratically elected representatives. I'm quoting from the Minister's own department's report on the regulatory impact analysis. So this is not something that I'm just making up. This is something that his own department has reported to him as having been expressed as concern by a range of other government agencies. Goodness knows why the why the Ministry for the Environment doesn't think these are important either. Proposals to change the water conservation order processes, which have the potential to be highly controversial, particularly given that the government has not signalled such a move in its New Start for Freshwater Policy program. Well, because of those concerns, there were 3 minor changes made to the proposal, but that's it, and nothing of substance in terms of the seriousness of the issues that have been raised. I'm deeply concerned that this kind of information, this quality information, is actually withheld from members of parliament standing up to debate in the House. It wasn't tabled with it, Mr Chairman. The Minister can interject as much as he likes, but the government made a decision no longer to include regulatory impact statements with the bills. They're now separately on the website, and a member has to go back to the House and get a copy of it in order to ensure that they have the information in front of them. Mr Chairman, I do think that it is poor process in terms of our ability as a House to monitor anything of substance in a way that actually enables us to speak for our constituents who expect us to be able to debate authoritatively on subjects subject to all of the information being made available to us when it is required.
Mr Chairman, I call the Honourable Nick Smith.
Mr Chairman, the comments from the opposition on this bill come down to basically 2 features: misinformation and personal denigration. And I want to address both of those in this short contribution. The first is the regulatory impact statement that the member has claimed was not tabled in the House was tabled on the House right in front of me at exactly the same time as the bill was tabled, and was provided to the Bill's office at exactly the same time. I want to address the issues that have been raised by Russell Norman. I would note that Jeanette Fitzsimons, who was a passionate